This is Supercell's new game Squad Busters, and today I'm going to be sharing 15 starter tips that you should know to become a better player. The first tip is understanding how the cost of chests work. You may already know that you need to collect the required gold to open the chest, and once you do that, the next chest is usually more expensive. Well, this is because the cost of the chest is tied to the number of characters you currently have. So every time you spawn another character, the cost of the chest goes up by 5 gold, and once it reaches a cost of 30, it goes up by 10 until you hit a maximum of 50 gold. But don't worry, you probably won't be paying 50 gold that often anyways, because remember, the cost is tied to the number of characters you have. So that means fusions will decrease the cost of the chest, and as you may know, you automatically get a fusion when you collect 3 of the same character. This is super helpful during the battle, especially at the beginning, because if you want to keep expanding your squad, you have to make sure to fusion them, or else you'll be running into chests that cost way too much. Lastly, busting another player's squad will give you a free chest key, which makes the next chest free. Super helpful. But now that we're on the topic of chests, it's easy to miss, but the rarity of the chest changes throughout the game, and it's really not that complicated. When the game has 2 minutes left, chests become rare, so you'll see a selection of rare characters. When there's 60 seconds left in the game, they become epic chests. This helps balance the game out so that not everyone is running around with strong characters at the start of the game. The next tip is using the turbo. It's pretty self-explanatory. All you gotta do is hold it down and you'll move faster. Let it go and it will recharge. You should do this pretty often, by the way. Running out at the worst time never feels good. But the turbo not only makes you move faster, it also makes you attack faster. If you're attacking a monster or another player, simply hold down the turbo button and your attack speed will be faster. As you can see, the turbo is pretty awesome, but unfortunately, you don't have a lot of it. It runs out quick. If you want more turbo available, you'll need to spawn specific characters like the Chicken, Hog Rider, or Max. Occasionally, you'll also find boosts around the map that you can pick up. Here's a fun one. In the home screen, you can tap on characters to make them move and make noises or whatever. But that's not all. Every now and then, a random character will give you free coins. To my knowledge, it's not a specific character, just tap on all of them and one of them will eventually give you free coins. However, there does seem to be a cooldown for how often you can do this. Now that we're on the home screen though, I didn't know this when I first started playing, but if you head on over to the squad screen and tap on a character you have unlocked, then tap details, this little button here with the target and arrows is the training area. Here, you can run around, kill monsters, and build a pretty massive squad for no reason. If you just want to get the hang of the game's mechanics without losing your streak or something, this is the perfect place to do so. Speaking of streaks, what even are streaks? Well, it's pretty simple. Every time you play a game and come in at 5th place or higher, your streak will begin to grow. It will count. The higher the streak you have, the bigger the reward you get from chests. If you've opened a chest before and saw the bonus at the end, this bonus comes from the streak you're currently on. Now, if you happen to break the streak by getting 6th place or lower, you'll have the option to pay coins to continue the streak. If you don't, the streak will start over. Now, whether paying for that is worth it or not is really up to you. Jumping into a match again, the next tip has to do with spells. Surely you've picked some up and played around with them, and at first I was just tapping the button to drop them, but then I found out that some spells can be thrown in specific locations. Simply tap and drag it like a joystick and throw it wherever you want. And if you want to cancel it, drag it out as far as possible and it will eventually gray out. Speaking of spells, some of them can break the environment, including helping you get more gold. The bomb spell is capable of destroying trees without needing Greg. So if you absolutely need some extra emergency gold, well, you can drop a bomb on some trees. And as for the log spell, it can break bridges. Pretty neat stuff. Another thing you may have missed is that some characters have special power attacks. If you look closely at your character, some will have a second bar around their health bar. As they're attacking or just over time, it fills up, and when it does, they will do a special attack. If you're unsure what your character's special attack is, you can head on over to their info screen and read it there. For example, the Archqueen has one where she'll fire exploding arrows, and Colt fires a bullet storm. Do keep in mind though that you will need to level up your character to unlock these special attacks. The higher the level, the more cool stuff you unlock. And you can easily tell what level they are by the number of stars next to them. Now, you've probably noticed the bag of keys during a match, or you've probably noticed it before a game. This is where all of your chest keys and rerolls are. These are one-time use items, so essentially the keys give you a free chest during the match with the rarity of the key. So using a epic key, you'll get a free epic chest during the match. If you are using a fusion key, you get a free fusion. Good job, you guessed it. But you have to keep in mind that these have cooldowns from 1 to 2 minutes. As for the reroll, it simply rerolls the options of characters in case you don't want any of them. Currently, keys are available for coins, but also in shop offers and the season pass. If you make a purchase, feel free to use code Havoc or anybody else's, your favorite YouTuber. But if you use mine, I really appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. Other than that though, you can also find keys in special events like the current Pinata Festival or whatever is currently there. This may change over time. The next tip is explaining modifiers and what you should and shouldn't do when certain ones are active. Modifiers are picked at random when you start a match, and you can see all of the ones it's going to pick from by tapping on your squad journey, tapping world info, and scroll down to the modifiers. Clicking on each will explain what they do. You can also see what they do at the beginning of a match. You may already be familiar with some of these. Now, it's probably smart to avoid bringing some characters depending on what modifier is active. For example, if Loot Surge is active, you may not need goblins or Greg or chickens because those items will already be laying around in the map for free. It doesn't mean you can't, of course, but you may want to adjust your playstyle as necessary. Okay, let's head back to the home screen. If you tap on the achievements book, these are basically quests that you can do to earn more portal energy. This helps you in your squad journey to progress faster, and the cool thing about these achievements is that they reset so that you can do them again. So if you don't have any chest tickets and feel as though there's no reason to play, don't worry, these achievements always come in clutch. Speaking of progression, if you've browsed the shop, you may notice that there are chest tickets you can buy with coins. These are actually a better value than paying coin to buy characters. Buying characters is simply a shortcut, but don't be lazy, play the game and get chests. It's not only more fun, but can give you way more stuff, so save your coins and buy chest tickets. That's what I would do. On a similar note, there is a free chest that you can collect every day. Pretty sweet, right? You can also collect chests from your squad journey. Now, before you open these chests, specifically the squad journey ones, if you're close to a new world or at any point really, you can save these chests, and if you get to the new world, you can unlock characters from that new world. This is just an easy way to unlock new characters. Give it a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And last but not least, this tip has to do with friend requests. If you aren't getting any, but aren't sure why, go into more settings to check if this is set to off. Mine was actually off by default because it is off in my Supercell ID. So if you want it on, you have to manually do that. Do keep in mind though that if you turn it on in the game, it also turns it on for your Supercell ID. It is a account-wide option. So that means friend requests will be enabled in other Supercell games. So guys, that wraps it up. Those are the 15 tips that I was able to gather. I've been having a blast with this game and I hope you guys are too. New games are always refreshing to me and it feels like I have an overload of ideas. But hey, if you have any more tips that can help more people, feel free to drop them in the comments below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a gaming outs. Peace!